Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood. I'm here with Daniel Culver Killenberg. We're here to discuss the Resident Evil 3 trailer, the remake. What did you think, Daniel?
Well, I was actually pretty impressed, and you know, it was interesting because we saw screenshots and that one photo. We didn't know it was actually confirmed until now, but the thing is though, it proved that it was the exact stuff. So the screenshots were all real. Like like I said, I was pretty impressed. How'd you feel about it?
I think it looks really interesting. We sort of called this in our Resident Evil 2 video game review. We were discussing the possibility of Nemesis, and here it is. It's coming out. One thing we're getting, and we were sort of talking about this, you and I, that Nemesis backstory. It looks like that's going to happen.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that too, actually.
Do you think that he's just going to specifically target just Stars members? Because I find it weird. Something I think was it Brad said that he that and he's talking about Nemesis when he says he's got a hard on for the only two Stars members in town. I find that interesting that Nemesis is specifically going to Raccoon City. I mean, he did in the original, but the line is very interesting.
Yeah, that actually is a good point. I'm wondering about that too. Now you mentioned it, yeah, it kind of seems like he mostly target them, but maybe not. Um, well, I mean, obviously he's gonna mostly target them. Maybe not. I mean, maybe he's gonna target the other ones, other people as well.
Here's the thing: you were talking about this in your video on both YouTube and BitChute, and this will be up on both too. That the trailer, Jill's in first person, and you're wondering. I'm thinking in hindsight that we're gonna have the option of first person and third person.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually did mention that. Yeah, I do wonder about that. Like maybe they give you the option. And actually, as impossible. That's not an impossible thing because for those who haven't played the Fallout games, I haven't played a lot of them, but Fallout 3, which was on the PS3 and Xbox 360, you could switch between first-person shooter and third-person shooter.
I think it would be really terrifying to see Nemesis in first person. But it
Oh yeah, I agree.
the trailer just looks, it does look really good. I mean, I know we sort of called this, but we weren't exactly expecting to be right either.
Yeah, that's true. So do you think Carlos is gonna have a more important role?
I'm wondering about that because Carlos looks so much younger now than he did in the original. I mean, he looks like a teen. So, I mean, maybe it's just his hairdo, but I I know we're hoping Carlos gets his own campaign, and that's sort of what I'm hoping for, that Carlos literally gets his own campaign.
See, I've been wondering about that too, because on the cover, well, the one that leaked out, if you notice, it has Jill right beside, standing right beside Carlos.
Do you think part of this is going to be a co-op?
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but it actually could be, so that would kind of make sense.
It would. I sort of here's one thing I do wish, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I wish they would have had, and maybe they will. I know this is just a trailer for now, and maybe they're just getting this out for now, so maybe it could just be a little bit of a tease. I'm hoping they include more Stars members, and we actually get Nemesis, systematically going after them. That's one thing I do want to see.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Do you think they'll now Resident Evil 2, we were discussing this, they shortened that game. Do you think they short this or no?
You, you know what? I hope they didn't. I didn't think about it, but of course, someone did mention that this campaign was shorter, but I really hope they didn't. But I have a weird feeling they probably did.
I'm just wondering. Here's the thing: Resident Evil 2 does not have a ton of cutscenes in it. I'm wondering. I get the feeling we're going to get the opposite of this. That 3 will have the cutscenes. We'll have a lot more. I think I'm going to make a bold prediction that we get longer gameplay here because I know you and I have discussed this. We're hoping they give us Nemesis mode and we can actually be the son of a bitch.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Do you think we'll find out what happened to the gun owner and his daughter?
I sort of hope we do. I mean, I get we probably know what happened, but it would be cool if we go into the gun store and we find out what happened to his daughter and him. That would be neat. And one thing in the trailer too, the outbreak is just it's insane. It looks way more insane in the trailer for 3 than it even did 2, if that was even at all possible.
Yeah, that's actually true. I hope they you know, you know how like in the opening of the original, like there's a part where they show like, for those that don't know, there was actually three cutscenes, but yeah, there's like one where they show a bunch of zombies and even the SWAT team have trouble killing them. I kind of hope they show that again.
I like how they showed the helicopters. I definitely think we'll see another trailer um, prior to the actual date of it getting released. I would say look for one around Super Bowl Sunday, considering it's a big game release. I mean, this isn't a small release for Sony at all, or for Capcom, I should say. I almost said Sony, but for Capcom, um, to me, Daniel, this game, them coming back with this, it attributes the success of 2 and how good of a job they did there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What did you?
It's pretty cool because now we have the remake of the first three. I mean, the first three games. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy that now all 3 have been remade, and it really is. I mean, if somebody would have came to me when Nemesis would have came out and said, "Oh yeah, they're going to remake this," I would have just laughed at them. But like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure, they're going to remake this game and how good it was. Yeah, what are you on? What drug are you on? But yeah, they are, and it's crazy. But I mean, I'm excited. I know you are too. Do you think we'll do you think we'll get a actual campaign of Carlos?
I think we I think either we will get that or we'll get like a side thing. You know, like kind of like how they did with Ada with Separate Ways.
Yeah, I do think it's. Here's my one hope, and this is the one issue I had with Resident Evil 2. When they give you Ada to do in Resident Evil 2, they give you. I mean, it's not little what they're having her do, but it seems so insignificant at times of what they're having her do. I don't think that'll be Carlos, but that's sort of my early concern for this because that's the one thing that it sort of peeks into my mind. I liked Ada's little side journey, but there wasn't a whole lot to it either.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Do you
One
think we?
thing that does kind of annoy me, and okay.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, one thing that annoys me is apparently like the class outfits. Apparently this one will too, but it's a pre-order bonus.
Go ahead and repeat yourself because you were cutting out there. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. As you know, like the Resident Evil 2 remake had, the classic outfits apparently. Apparently this will too, but they're pre-order bonuses.
Mm, I think here's the thing too. You gotta. Everyone says about pre-order bonus. A lot of the pre-order bonuses that came with Resident Evil 2 came like they came as like afterwards. They came like almost as DLC, not quite DLCs, but options that you could pick them up later. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do that here too.
Well, that's true. They might change their mind too. Like I don't even know what people are talking about. Like they're pre-ordering this one set, but like as far as Amazon goes, you can't pre-order yet because I actually checked.
Yeah, I haven't checked GameStop yet, and I'm actually going that way over tomorrow to see if you can. And if they say no, I'm gonna be like, why not, man? It was announced.
Yeah, that's true.
uh,
Although I do actually kind of like Jill's new outfit more because like it seems more practical.
yeah, that's one thing you and I discussed with Resident Evil 2. The new outfits really looked good. They looked crisp, and they looked a lot better than the originals. They did keep the originals. You could have the originals as options. Now, I've played some of Resident Evil 2 on noir mode because I'm huge on detective stories. Do you want like noir mode for Resident Evil 3?
I wouldn't mind it, but to be honest, I never actually used it. I hate to say it, but I didn't use it. But I wouldn't mind it as being there.
It for those who don't know, noir mode is the game's in black and white, and it gives it an edge feel a little bit. It sort of gives that Night of the Living Dead George A. Romero feel to it. So I do find it interesting for a PS4 game they did that at all. I think they did that to just give you something really for Resident Evil 2. So it's going to be fun and interesting to see what they give us. Do you? I gotta ask you something. Do you think they will reveal Nemesis because that Nemesis was created to make sure Wesker was dead?
I've been wondering that too. Like, I kind of think they will. Like, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think this time we'll actually we may get to see how he was created, and like why. Like maybe like there'll be a video like there was a Birkin.
Yeah. Here's my biggest thing with this. We've talked about Dr. Marcus and all this stuff before, you and I. And here's my biggest question. We know Umbrella was the financer of the you know the experiments. We know they helped with the experiments. We know Umbrella has scientists. What I would love for Nemesis to answer really this RE3 remake, who was loyal to Dr. Marcus and who was loyal to Albert Wesker, and where did those chips fall on either side? Were they Did they make Nemesis to sort of make sure Wesker was dead, or was Nemesis just a creation to wipe out anything that could prove Umbrella did something really wrong.
I could definitely see what you're saying. Like, you know, yeah, like I said, I hope they go more into like more in depth of why he was great and all that. You know.
I do too. I hope they give us a full fledged story with Nemesis. I mean, that's what we're hoping for. Is there any character you want to see in this game that maybe wasn't in the third one?
Um, possibly Chris. I know that's a weird thing, but I mean, like maybe at the end, like maybe maybe they could change it slightly where Chris decided to come back for her or something like that.
I could definitely see that. I was sort of the one thing I was hoping before I give my character mention. I was hoping they would make Carlos BSA, not Umbrella. But I don't think they're. I don't.
Oh,
I don't think
because
they're.
I'm not sure. Cause
Yeah. My character mention, I think I'm going to include is I'm with you on Chris. I could see Chris coming back for Jill, but not just Chris. Chris and Barry for sure would be nice in this at the end. I can't. I know we're just both so excited. I can't wait to see what they've come up with for this. Like what they're going to give us. It
that's
looks great.
and that's possible with Barry because like I think I told you before, but Barry's playable in Resident Evil Revelations, so his death has sort of been retconned. Well, it depends on what choice you made anyway. So
Right. Right. Right, because Barry, you can save Barry at the end of Resident Evil 1, for those who don't know. But, um, so it's if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. Most people do. Most people went back and saved his ass or just happened to know or save him. Um, yeah, it's that crazy. This with the game with Resident Evil 3 coming out, what are your expectations for a live action movie? Do you think they're going to follow the game a lot closer now, or?
I think they will follow closer, but I don't. I'm a little worried that they're not gonna follow it like totally too close because okay, not to lose hope, but you know what they always say. I'll believe when I see it, but I do have faith in the current director and writer because he did say that's gonna be scary, so at least he kind of has the right idea.
Yeah, I think less. Look, I'm for action in horror movies, but suspense is key in any movie, in any horror movie, and I think especially in a zombie movie like Resident Evil. I don't mind the action, but I want the suspense. God damn it!
Oh yeah, and actually, one problem with the Resident Evil movie that they're currently making is people keep leaving, like, because as you know, James Wan was going to be it, then well, he was going to be producer, then he left. Then there's going to be this guy named Greg Russo, and I want him to write it. Like, he was going to be the writer, but he left, and so now the guy that was going to just direct it is also writing it. But it's like, why does people keep leaving?
It could just. Here's the thing. It could just be a disagreement with the studio, or maybe they just didn't have time to do this project that they maybe committed themselves to. Here's the thing. James Wayne has left a couple of projects, not just Resident Evil, so I'm not shocked he left it. And I believe he left Castlevania as well when they were talking the live action of it, but that actually completely got scrapped. So eh, I'm not
Uh,
shocked that people leave a project too much because it could just be time constraint or they're just they don't have the time to commit to what they thought they would. I'm with you. I have faith in the director and who the writer is. I do. I hope they have a more faithful adaptation of the game. We're not fans of the live action movies. But if you are, hey, that's cool. We're not gonna shit on you. We do shit on Alice though.
Oh yeah. Well, it's actually funny. For those that actually, it's kind of funny because I actually asked Joel when this was still a rumor, like, what if like when you meet Carlos, he says something about his girlfriend Alice.
Right?
For those
Uh,
who haven't seen, well, yeah,
so-
for those who haven't seen the movies, for some reason the third one, Carlos is randomly made Alice's boyfriend.
yeah, that's something. I mean, look, if they do that in the game, it would depend on the situation. Like, I don't think Jill was necessarily in love with Carlos in the game. She appreciated him by the end of the game, but not enough to be in love with him. Now, if they change that in Nemesis, I want to see how they change. Like this remake, I would want to see how they're changing it. Sure, but we'll see. We'll see what the game does. Again, it's going to be a lot of fun to go back and do this all over again, and just a lot of tension and terror.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, that's funny. I actually saw a few people say that Jill looks like Alice. Well, they said her real name, Mila Jovovich. I know what they mean. I think so, to be honest. Other than her actual hair.
I think that's just people reaching for something. Honestly, I mean, I don't see that at all. So it is what it is. I know we're both so really really excited and just excited for this game. Is there is there a feat? Do you hope the what was it? The feature that was in the original, the mercenaries feature is in this one.
I think it will be actually like because in Resident Evil 2 remake they actually put the feature the stuff that was the extras in it as well. But for those that don't know, this is gonna have resistance. So yeah, for all the people who were complaining about that, it's just a side thing.
Yeah, listen, when
But
that
that's
when
not my thing.
yeah, listen, when the trailer for Nemesis came out yesterday, I didn't give two shits about resistance. No offense to anyone.
Oh yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. But yeah, people are like, see, I don't know how people were shocked by this. Like they're like, oh well, it turns out it was all a special, an extra mode for it all along. It's like, um, it's kind of hinted if you think about it, because if you look very closely in Resistance, the trailer for Resistance, they show they show the same zombie models in from the Resident Evil 2 remake. It's kind of obvious it wasn't going to be a full fledged game.
No, it's basically going to be a lot like Left 4 Dead. For those who have played Left 4 Dead like I have, Daniel, have you?
I've played some of Left 4 Dead too.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little like Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2 if you've played those games. If you haven't, go check those out. They're worth a play for sure, I would say. Um, trying to think if there's any. I don't think there's anything I have left more to add, man. Is there anything you have left more to add?
Um, how do you feel about Nemesis having a nose?
I don't mind it at all, actually. I think, they're trying to do something different with the character design, and that's all well and good. New character design isn't always a bad thing. I don't mind it at all. You?
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually don't mind either. Like, I didn't think it was that big a deal, but and people might think I'm joking, but we're not. People are actually complaining that he has a nose now. It's really weird.
Yeah, they are. They're complaining. Listen, we're in enough Resident Evil groups. Some people are complaining, oh, he's got a nose. Well, it's not that big of a deal, trust us. Well, to
Well, I
us
think
it isn't
some people are
anyway.
also some people were also complaining that Carlos had a different hairdo, but I actually think it makes perfect sense because if you notice, it looks messy looking. If you're in a zombie apocalypse, you're not gonna be worried about your hair, you know.
No, you're not. I am curious to see how much. I think Carlos is going to be a lot younger in this, but just by his look, not just by his hair, but by his face, he looks a lot younger. Maybe he's like a new mercenary or a new recruit to Umbrella, which could explain a lot, from his standpoint. But we will definitely see what they do. I think Carlos looks good. Jill looks good. Nemesis is looking scary already.
Oh yeah, that's true. Um, oh, I know some people keep asking like if they're gonna remake Resident Evil 4. I kind of doubt it's been remastered like a bunch of times already.
I believe they just remastered it on the newest release, didn't they?
I think they did because like, so I actually have that too. It doesn't honestly it doesn't look perfect, but I think it was still released. You know, like for those that don't, of course, it's probably remastered from the PS2 version, but like I said, I think it still is. You know,
Yeah, it
because I know
got.
the PS. I mean the because I believe the RE4. I mean 5 and 6 releases are also remastered, aren't they?
I'm not. Yeah, I believe 5 and 6 just got remastered with it, like as a quick release. I think it was done right around October. Was this was all done because a bunch of games had gone on sale. So, and again, listen, I played 4, 5, and 6, and they have enjoyable moments, but they went more toward the movie side of it. They suckered you with some really good Resident Evil
Oh yeah,
characters,
that's
though.
yeah, like the laser room. I can't believe they. I still can't believe they really put that in there.
No, I know. My wife's like, "Isn't that from the movie?" I looked at her. I'm like, "Don't remind me."
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I don't. I think they will remake Code Veronica, but that's Code Veronica's where it's a little weird because I believe Code Veronica X was already a remaster, but of course a remake's different. And if that isn't the case, I kind of hope they maybe fix the issues they had before or had to fix or whatever. Like they combine the two, but make it one new game again.
I think Code Veronica will be next on the list after this. I mean, Nemesis is probably going to be a huge sell for them, for sure. But I definitely think Veronica will be next on the list. It's a nice game. There are issues with it for sure, but yeah, but all in all, it's not a bad gameplay for those who haven't played Code Veronica. Go check it out. It definitely. I'm so excited for Resident Evil 3. Do you think they're just gonna keep the title of Resident Evil 3, and or are they gonna? You think they'll add Nemesis?
I've been wondering about that too. Like they might actually keep. I think they will keep it as three. To be honest, like I
Right.
could be wrong, like I said, but I think they're gonna keep it to kind of differentiate it from the original version. You know?
Yeah. I have one for you. Something they could do in Resident Evil 3. Even though it's a mission in Resident Evil 2, it's like a bonus mission for Hunk. Show Hunk getting out alive.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be nice. I wouldn't mind that at
That would be
all.
awesome. Yeah, like I don't know why people want them to make four. Like, cause like I said, it's been ported on everything. It's been remastered a bunch of times. Like, and honestly, I don't know. Like, see, like these games, like the actual gameplay is different. That's not really the case with Resident Evil 4. You know?
Yeah. Res Resident Evil 4 has a lot of good gunplay in it, and its story is somewhat interesting, but again, they hook you right away with Leon. I mean, the opening cutscene is Leon. I mean, that alone gets you to buy the game.
Well, that's true. I I will admit, like, I will admit Leon does look different in the remake, but I guess maybe that's why people want them to remake it. But then again, people gotta remember that although it's remastered, it did come out in 2004. You know, the new models weren't established yet.
No, they weren't. I mean, come on. They're just. I think Leon looked good. We both liked the new jacket he had, the outfits. I can't wait to see the outfits they have for this. I hope they have a ton of them and make them look good.
But yeah, I agree. I really do. Like, that would be awesome. Oh, you think? Oh wait, no, never mind. But what I was gonna say is like you think they could have Leon's Resident Evil 4 outfit, but yeah, it's kind of that he's not gonna be in this scene unless maybe he will be. Maybe he'll be in this somehow.
I wouldn't mind a ton of a little more outfits for Carlos, like different like gear for him to wear because he's a mercenary. That I wouldn't mind at all. Like if they do something with Carlos's gear a little more with this, I wouldn't mind that. Uh, my my biggest thing is with this. If we get a nemesis mode where the player can be nemesis, I'm curious to see how if they do give us that, what is that going to look like?
Oh, that would be awesome. They could do that because they did it with six. Like with six, like you could actually play a monster online and like you could kill other players and stuff.
Yeah, right. In the game Dying Light, if you ever play it, you could actually be a zombie, and the zombies run like they'll run on there.
Oh man, that's pretty cool actually.
It's a pretty sick game. I've played it before and beat it. It's like if you go out at night, you're in deep trouble. But you got to craft stuff on that game and stuff. I'm sort of hoping we get a crafting option with Resident Evil 3. They let us craft stuff. That would be really cool. I just thought of that just now. But yeah, I mean, we're really excited. The trailer looks good. Yeah, we just can't say enough good things about it.
I also hope they keep the intro, and I know I mentioned the zombie part, but you know how like Jill does that really awesome like speech at the beginning. I really hope they keep that in.
I hope like if we get another trailer, which I think we'll at least get one more. If they show Nemesis one time
See,
in the
actually, they could. Go ahead.
no, go ahead real quick. It's all right.
Oh, okay. Actually, the thing I was talking about where Jill was talking at the beginning, that could be like a cool thing, like for the trailer. Like the next trailer, it could have like the talking over, and they could say like, like I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but like they could like have her say like, if only they had the courage to fight like over the, the over the gameplay and shit, like to kind of show more emotion to the incident and all that.
I think they will. There was a little bit of a. I like the like where Jill's looking in the mirror and she's like, is this all a dream?" And like she turned like zombie. I think you will. I think we will definitely. You may be predicting something here, my friend, because I think we will get that emotion.
Oh yeah, you're right about the mirror scene. Actually, the mirror scene was pretty cool too.
I do hope we get Nemesis. If they show Nemesis one time in the next trailer, like if we get one more, show him one time and that's it. Don't show him a bunch of times because we know he's coming. I mean, it's just like Mr. X with Resident Evil 2. We know it's coming. Um, but yeah, so far the trailer looks great. I've got no complaints. I cannot wait. It is looking good.
Yeah, me either. One thing that is weird though is like it's kind of weird we're just now getting a trailer because for those that don't know, it's coming out in April.
I don't know who's leaking stuff at Capcom, but I think a lot of they were trying to hold off on this as long as they. I don't if the leaks wouldn't have came out, I don't think we would have got a trailer. To be honest, I don't think we would have got a trailer till about right as January was coming in. We would have got that trailer, but now because and two, Christmas could have been the fin of this too. But I do think it's more because of the leaks coming out is why we got the trailer.
Oh yeah, I think it's because of leaks too. Like, and I kind of figured they were real though, because Capcom wasn't denying it. It seems like if it was fake, they'd be like, no, that's all fake, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Capcom did not motherfuck us. They didn't give us the finger. They're like, oh no, it's real. It's real. Damn it, we can't deny it. Here's the thing too.
Yeah. So do you think there's? I don't know if you heard.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, oh, it's fine.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, like, do you think they're still gonna? You still think they're? You think they're still gonna make a TV series, or do you think that's like, you think that's like canceled now?
No, not with the success of Resident Evil 2, and I definitely think Resident Evil 3 remake will sell good too. If they were going to do a TV series, I don't think they would be releasing another game. I think there's way too much momentum coming back to these games to just go to the TV series. I mean, could they? Sure. I mean, if you're going to do a longer story, sure. So I could see that, but with all the
Oh yeah.
success of the games, I more think we'll get a movie again than a series.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point as well. So I know, like, apparently the TV series, like, it still has an Internet Movie Database profile, but that might be in case it gets made. You know, like, because I know a lot of people thought, like, there's actually a rumor that, like, it's going to coincide with the movie, but I'm assuming they're talking about the new movie, because that happened before. They were talking about a TV series in I think like 2004. I mean 2014. Is it? Here's the thing: people were saying, oh well, it's going to be based on the movie, not the games, but that turned out to actually be a full-blown rumor. It was going to be based on the games, but then they didn't make it.
Yeah, I think again, if a series were to happen, I wouldn't be against it because you could tell a more proper story with this than you could a movie. But I really think because the games are again becoming such a juggernaut with the remake of 2, Biohazard was really good prior to that. I just think with Nemesis is going to be the one. Okay, we're definitely going to go forward and do a movie franchise again. And because if a film company is going to look at, well, look how much money these games made. You know, it's all about money. I mean, unfortunately, but it is.
Well, that's true. Not and not so long ago, Resident Evil, the whole franchise made, like, I think they said 92 million. Well, they sold over 92 million copies. So
Yeah.
it's starting to sell a lot really well too.
Yeah, listen, I'm probably not going to be the only person at GameStop tomorrow asking about this. So I
Oh, you're
expect,
fine.
you know what I mean? Like I expect to go there and see like a line. They've probably already went there, knowing my luck. So yeah, I'm going there tomorrow, over that way tomorrow, to like see if I could pre-order this goddamn thing. But yeah, I mean, it's really really exciting to see that they're doing this again and to see the games be successful after what the movie franchise I think did. I think Capcom has responded very very well to the fans.
Yeah, I think they have to.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just. Is there anything you want to add, man? It's great that we're getting this. Uh, I would say Silent Hill, but I
Oh yeah,
really
yeah, definitely.
I think if
Unfortunately, there's issues there.
yeah, there's my biggest issue with Silent Hill is they've remastered 2. Now the newest remaster they just did with 2 looks a lot better. They kept the fog and the graininess. They just did a remaster of 2 again, and they kept the graininess this time, which is great, the fog. But if Hideo Kojima actually gets his head out of his ass and Konami and him can get along, because I don't think they'll make one without him, and I don't think they want to make one without him because I think they're scared to. They have not made a Silent Hill game without him. That's sort of the issue with Konami, that it just like they have no courage of their own to do it. And if they actually grew a set of balls and tried it, I think they could do it. But that would be one for me, would be Silent Hill. And number two, if I could pick one game to be completely remastered, and people are gonna shit on me for this one, but completely remastered and just remade or redone, that would be really really good. I think would be Terminator versus RoboCop.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever played that. Actually, sounds kind of cool though.
You can get it on the old Sega Genesis, I do believe. It's a real listen. That game is loads and loads of fun, and that's definitely they just did a Terminator Resistance game. I mean, they could definitely do Terminator versus RoboCop, but that is probably the one game I would want remade most.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty awesome. Like, and I know you said it was on the Genesis, but that would be cool in like HD, you know?
Oh yeah, it definitely would. It would be low. If they could do it, if they could get a hold of the rights to do it, I don't know like what the because here's the thing. Terminator, I think, is through Fox, which is now what through Disney. So that's there's that
Right,
issue.
right.
But yeah, there's my hope would be if they do a Terminator versus RoboCop that they do a video game. I mean, the first one was really. I mean, there's only one version, so it's definitely worth a look. If you have not played RoboCop versus Terminator for the Sega Genesis, I highly recommend it.
Oh yeah. Like I said, it actually sounds pretty cool. Like, see, that's back when like they did that. You know, like they had crossover games like Alien vs Predator. I know we talked about this before, but yeah, for those that don't know, there's an early game of Alien vs Predator. The earlier game actually came out before the movie did. Like, so it wasn't based on the movie. It's actually kind of weird.
Yeah, and what happened with the Alien versus Predator movie thing was just a goddamn shamble. But yeah, the games are better. The Alien versus Predator games are better in the long haul, but unfortunately, it's just where the movie franchises just could not exist together, I guess.
One franchise I would like to see remade, and it could be remade because Microsoft now has the rights to it. It's been remastered, so it's cooking.
What was the name of the game? I'm sorry.
It'd be perfect in a full-blown remake. And today, zero class mission after you beat the remake, you know.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, oh man, I hate when that happens. Well, it's not your fault. It's actually Skype. Um, See if they remade my pick for a remake game would be Perfect Dark, which was on the original on the Nintendo 64. And I think I mentioned this before, or I think I actually talked to you on Facebook before, but yeah, like I think they should remake that game. And see, they could do that because would do is I would have like, obviously it would basically be the same story but with new gameplay. And instead of making a like there was prequels which didn't really do well, Culver Dark Zero, which is weird because Resident Evil has Zero as well. Well, instead of making that like a full-fledged game, like doing that over again, I have it as like a special mission. And also one unlockable I would have is like, and I know this might sound weird, but I would actually have like so you can unlock the original game within the remake.
That would sound cool. That sounds pretty cool. To, but yeah, I mean, I think there's games they definitely could remake, especially now with the way the PS4 is set up and the Xbox One. I do think we'll see more remakes over time, especially if Nemesis does half of what 2 did, let alone eclipse it. I think we're going to get more remakes, not just from Capcom, but from everybody the hell else.
That could happen because like for a while like I mean not remasters but re-releases were a thing, so I could see them doing like going full circle and doing like remakes as what becoming a thing too.
You would think the video game franchise would. I mean, we've seen the movie franchise remake things to death. So,
That's true. It actually, at least with games, it actually has a purpose. Like with movies, they actually I know people probably probably already know, but yeah, I'm not a fan of remade movies. But see, these are different because they actually are improved.
right. And here's the thing with the game, they're actually doing things that for the fans. They're doing what we call fan service. And I think with a remake for a movie, look, we get that's money too, but it's to remake a story and remake it time and time and time again and do it. It's how many more times can you tell that story?
Oh yeah, that's very true. And actually, one thing I also want to add, like, because some people have a misconception. You probably already know, but yes, Resident Evil One from on the GameCube was a remake. But people say that was a remaster. No, here's where it's complicated. In 2002, they remade it, and then in 2014, they remastered the remake.
Yeah, for the GameCube, it did
Well, I
get
guess
remade. Yeah,
yeah, that's what people will get. Like, they'll say no, it was a remaster. Nope, the remake. Well, okay, in a way they're right, but yeah, like I said, they remastered the remake. I know it's really weird,
yeah,
but they didn't do that until like the PS4 did it. Well, PS3, but later on.
yeah. Right, right. Hey, look, there's many. You don't just have to play the original Resident Evil. You can play the remake. It's fine. It just listen, games get remade too. That's just what it is.
Well, that's true. And actually, that's what people don't realize. There's a difference between a remaster and remake, and I'm sure you know. See, but for those that don't know, a remaster is where it's like the same game, but they like digitally make it like look better. Well, I guess it's obvious, but they make the graphics better. A remake is when they rebuild it from the ground up. But they did that with the 2002 version. See, the thing is, the 2002 version was just remade very closely.
Yeah, it. I.
But it does have differences. Like Lisa Trevor was in it in the
Yeah.
original.
I do think that we'll see, like, especially after this, like, because we were just literally, when we did our Resident Evil 2 review, we were literally discussing Nemesis, the possibility of it. And here it is, it's coming.
Yeah.
And listen, now more than ever, if once this hits, and if this is the Juggernaut 2 was, the remakes will be a coming left and right.
Oh, do you think they'll remake the first one again, but with this new style?
Um, no, not really. I don't. I I think they did all they could do for that really, and I think if you just go back and remake it like right now, you're going to do a disservice to the one you just did.
Oh yeah, that's true. And as you know, they were like we were talking before, they remastered, so that might it seemed like they wasted their time, remastering, and then it's like, oh, we're making it again anyway.
Right? Right? They really listen, video games do this too. I mean, they do sometimes waste the fans' time by doing this, and that's what I said. Like Silent Hill 2, when it first got remastered, it was shitty. And I've seen the new remastered version. I'm like, oh my god, they finally did it right. Like, because I didn't buy the newest remastered version. My wife's
Oh
like,
yeah,
my wife asked me if I wanted it, and I was like, no, no. I said because they remastered this once and they fucked it up. And I said, I'll watch on YouTube, and I watched, and I was blown away by the fog, by the somewhat graininess. They kept some of it without fucking up the game. I mean, it was done beautifully.
um, is that new remaster you're talking about on the PS4?
Yeah, they remastered this for the PS for like the modern day. It's not a remake, it's just a remaster. I think it's purchasable through the new collection now. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong, please somebody correct me, but I do know they remastered Silent Hill 2 again.
That's actually kind of cool though. At least they fixed what they did.
Yeah, they did. They fixed a lot of the shit that they did. They didn't mess up the game by taking away a bunch of the graininess, and they kept some of it, and it looks a lot better than the first remastered. I mean, I give Konami that. That's what I mean. Konami could do a Silent Hill without Hideo Kojima. They gotta have the confidence and balls to do it. If not, if they don't, and here's the thing, I've heard a rumor Hideo Kojima wants to do another Silent Hill, a remake. I think it's way too little, way too late because Konami. I don't know if they're going. I don't think they have the money to afford him, and I don't think they'll give him the money after Death Stranding basically bombed.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Being an issue as well.
Yeah. All right,
But
guys.
with the remakes with the Resident Evil. Okay.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, actually, one thing I want with the remakes with the first Resident Evil is I kind of like that being like its own thing anyway. Like I said, like I was asking if they would remake the new format, but I kind of like it being in the old format because we could say, the remake of the first one had the old format, but for those that don't know, that's actually a coincidence. Back when they remade the first one and when they made the prequel Zero, that was still the style. Like they didn't change the style yet. It's just coincidental, pretty much.
Yeah, it. I think people will go. I'm hoping like with this, they if people want to go back and view like the other remakes and the remastered, do so. I think you could and appreciate those games. But I think the more and more you remake something though with a game, again, after they remake Nemesis, and don't keep remaking Nemesis or Resident Evil 2. Make Resident Evil 8. If you have enough courage to do a remake and it's successful, great. But have the courage to do something going forward as well.
Yes, true. Actually, also with remakes, like I think they should remake Code Rock, like I said, and maybe Outbreak. Although Outbreak might be more of a remaster game, but and maybe even Survivor. But I think after that they should stop. Like I don't want it to become these remakes are great, but I don't want Resident Evil to become the remake series.
No, I think Capcom. Look, Capcom sees the money. I mean, but they're not. This game coming out it looks like they've did a lot of service for the fans here again too. So I think we'll if we get one more remake, I'm with you. It will be Code Veronica. It probably will be not too long after this, after Nemesis, after Resident Evil 3. But I'm with you. Don't remake the Resident Evil movies, or sorry, the yeah, don't remake the Resident Evil games to death.
Yeah, you can remake the movies as long as they don't follow the ones that you made. You know.
Right? You can remake those sons of bitches. We don't care, as long as it doesn't follow the original, the continuity of the movies.
Well, yeah. I mean, if anyone that made those movies, well, involved with making those movies is listening, if I hear my name is Alice, I'm not even gonna watch the new movie.
If I go to the theater and I hear my name's Alice, I'm walking out. I'm leaving. I'm splitting. And I don't usually walk out of a movie either.
Yeah, yeah, there's,
It's like it's over. See ya. Bye.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Didn't you watch Dragon Ball Evolution in theaters?
I've watched well in theaters. No, I watched Evolution with my brother when he bought the DVD, and he said you got to watch this with
Oh,
me,
okay, yeah.
and I said all right, I'll watch it with you. I hadn't seen it yet, and he bought it, and I said, well, did you see this in theaters? He said no, and he said, but I did watch it. And I said okay. He goes, and he looked right at me. He said, fucking Goku's in fucking high school. And I started laughing because I thought he was joking, and he didn't laugh with me. And yeah, that was like, oh shit, he's serious.
This might sound weird, but I know people who did go into theaters. Yeah, believe it or not, that actually made it to theaters somehow.
Right. It shows you that Hollywood will literally approve any piece of shit they think is profitable. Uh,
Pretty much, yeah.
oh
I
shit.
don't know how because I don't even know how. Honestly, not to sound mean, I don't even know how it made it post production. Like, how come no one told them like, well, this isn't going to sell well, and this isn't very well made? It's like no one in post production told them because those are what I'm talking about. Usually, a movie has to go through something called post production before even going to theaters or DVD or anything.
I honestly think they banked on the name Dragon Ball. I really do.
Yeah, me too, actually. Oh, and I actually thought about something like, for those who haven't seen this movie, which you probably shouldn't, to be honest. Like, well, I guess if you like it, that's fine. But in this movie, like they said, like Ozaru was Piccolo's disciple, but in this one, Piccolo kills Grandpa Gohan instead. In their own continuity, it would have actually made more sense to have Goku kill him. And
Right.
that's how it was in the anime anyway, you know.
Right. Right.
See, that's the thing too, and that's the thing too. Like they had him kill Roshi instead, but see, the Roshi thing didn't even make sense because like he killed Roshi and then they wished Roshi back, so it's like his death didn't even really matter.
Here's the thing. They don't build Roshi and Goku's relationship enough in the movie in the course of the 2 hours, and they spend it too much with the high school
That's true. And yes,
teens.
yeah, it's true.
I mean, we
And
can.
yes, for those that don't haven't seen it, yes, you heard me right. Okay.
No, no, go ahead.
Yeah, for those who haven't seen the movie, yeah, you heard me right. Goku chose Roshi, a guy he met like 2 days ago, over his own grandpa, who raised him. And in this version, he did until he was 18.
Right. I think when you have a 2 hour movie and you're basing it on a large franchise, and this is sort of the issue of 2012's Dark Shadows too. What's the story you're trying to tell? If you're trying to build a relationship with the two characters, then build it. They don't build Roshi and Goku in the movie. They spend doing other senseless shit, and it is senseless, literally. Some of it for the
Yeah.
biggest part. then you're not going to have a connect with your
Well,
audience.
it's
And
true.
that is the biggest problem with Dragon Ball Evolution. It has no connect with the audience.
Well, did you notice there's actually a huge like problem with it? Like, well, I guess there's obvious one, but there was like limited time supposedly. But if you notice, they waited till like they're in a hole for like in the day, and then it's nighttime, and then Master Roshi like does a move, where he flies in and he says no more waste time. It's like, why didn't you do that to begin with?
Right. Yeah, Evolution, Dragon Ball Evolution has a shitload of problems. And it just listen, if you skip that
Yeah.
movie, you're saving yourself at least 5 years of your life.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, and another thing, I don't know if you noticed, but did you notice that Roshi actually pronounced Gohan incorrectly?
I did not notice that because again there was so much shit in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. He says like, "How's Gohan?" Yeah, he actually pronounces it Gohan. It's like, how do you mispronounce the main character's grandpa and son's name? Like, you have two characters to go off.
Oh my god. Oh shit. It just it's not a great film at all, but yeah. Yeah, Evolution, you guys could skip that one, but yeah, for sure. But the Resident Evil 3 trailer looks,
Definitely that.
it looks good. We're excited to play that. Um, yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely.
this has been a lot of fun. Brennan Daniel, I discussing it with him. We threw in some Dragon Ball for you guys for just to be fun. But thank you, Daniel, for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. It's always fun, man.
You're welcome, and thanks for having me as well. It's fun. It's fun. I have fun, with these discussions as well.
I did too. Link to Daniel's channel on YouTube will be in the description box. Also on BitChute. He's at Killenberg for Twitter. He's on Facebook, Daniel Culver. I'm Jules Sains at Collinwood of. And thank you guys for joining us so much. All right, thanks, man.